Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Do you ever have a situation where you know there's another way to look at it? There's just a better way. Well, today I had the most amazing download because a while back I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were talking about people they work with, and they referred to it because they're lazy. They don't do their job. They're not awake. They are very, very 3D. And that's not a judgment. It's a fact. I mean, these people have no clue what's going on. And they said something about the assholes at work. And then they said, no, they're not assholes. I bless them. I send them love and all this stuff. And then this week, somebody on Facebook posted something about basically knocking Trump, and putting it out there that I hope all of you are happy with your election or your voting results and all this kind of stuff. And then people were in the negative about, again, knocking Trump and all that kind of stuff. And it's very obvious who is still paying attention to social media. I mean, social media and the fake news, and who is not. Because that's irrelevant. Anyway, and I was looking at this post and I thought, these people are still asleep, even though all this stuff is coming out about the fake news and how they had an agenda, and how basically the Democrat Party, they're waking up. Anyway, I was thinking about these two, and both of these things hit me this morning. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I'm like, okay, this is something, because we know, you know, your exterior is a mirror of you. Okay, whatever is out in, whatever people are coming into your existence, whatever life you have is a reflection of you. And I told her, I said, so where is this a reflection? And as I'm talking through this, the answer dropped in like, boom, there it is, which I'm going to share with you in a second. So, because I thought about it, and like with my situation where, okay, even in your situation, okay, whether you've got a job, you don't have a job, whatever, anybody, think of the number of people that are on this planet. Think of the number of people that are in your town. Think of the number of people you have as friends or are just on Facebook. Now, what are the chances that any scenario enters your existence at the time it enters your existence? There are no chances. Everything happens for a reason. Because out of all the people in the world this person could have worked with, those people are in their existence. Out of all the people that are on Facebook, and I'm friends with this person because I worked with them before, but that's it. I don't comment on their posts. I don't interact with them. It just popped up into my existence. And I mean, there's friends on my Facebook that I don't even see their post. So for this to happen, it was like, Pam, this is something to think about, to work on, to see. Okay? So when you understand that everything, A, happens for a reason, B, there are no coincidences, and C, your exterior is a mirror of you, your interior, your thought process, your everything. So as I was talking to my friend this morning, it hit me, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is the answer to why it is the way it is, and as people that are awake, we see people that aren't awake all the time. Okay. And it's frustrating. Yes. And especially when they knock you, they look at you like you're crazy, like you're the conspiracy theorist, even though a lot of what we've been talking about for years is coming out. But so instead of having the immediate response of, well, they're an asshole, they're an idiot, they're stupid, they're asleep, they're whatever response that we would have to the situation, back up and look at it from a different perspective. Because on some timeline somewhere in this universe, you're right there with them. On some timeline, this person is the slacker at work, is the person that hadn't woken up yet. On a timeline, because everything, every possible, conceivable, everything is playing out simultaneously. So on some timeline, I am not awake yet. I'm still asleep and still oblivious to everything that's going on. So when you look at it that way, it's like, oh my God. So, and then this part kind of goes back to the last video I talked about respect. So if you're going through life as you are, okay, you're awake flip that. You're not awake yet, okay? And you're walking down the street and you make a comment, some 3D comment, and somebody that's awake says, oh my God, they're an idiot. How would that make you feel? So then, or they call you a dumbass or whatever, because you haven't woken up yet. How would that make you feel? So again, give what you want back. So if you don't want that negativity in your life, don't give it. Don't have those thoughts. Don't think of people as a dumbass or an idiot or whatever. Those are the two things that pop in my head because of those are the two scenarios that brought this to a head for me. So plus in the realm, okay, you're awake, right? Because I wasn't always awake. I mean, I remember back just, I'll say 5 years ago, I didn't know nor care about government. I would ask my husband at the time, okay, who are we supposed to vote for? It's November 4th. Who am I supposed to vote for? Because I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't know. I didn't care. I had maybe an inkling, an idea. But, now I understand it. I see it. I'm more in the know. So I haven't always been awake. And I've been awake on other things, but it's continuing to grow. And so there are some people that haven't even started to wake up yet. They don't even realize they're asleep. I didn't know I was asleep. I didn't know I needed to wake up. So on a timeline, I'm still asleep. Every decision you make makes the next timeline. Because every possible scenario has already played out. It's already played out. Because it's happening right now. Which is mind-boggling to think about. But especially when you go back over your life and you think of all the decisions that you've made, all the people that you've come up, interacted with. If you had said something different, if you had done, hindsight is always 2020. You know why? Because it's already played out. You see it. You always, how many times do you second guess yourself? How many times do you go back and you think, well, if I'd have done it this way, something else would have happened? There's your timeline. Anyway, you guys know this. So on a timeline somewhere, you're still asleep. You're still oblivious to what's going on. Put yourself in that perspective of how would I feel if somebody else did this to me, said this to me, thought of me in this way. And on top of that, think about, come from a place of gratitude and not from a place of ego. Not you're better or you're all that or any of that stuff. Let the ego go. But come from a place of gratitude that you're not there anymore. Bless the people that haven't gotten it yet. You still love them because they're in your existence for a reason. To remind you that you're not there. So you can have, and when we look at everything with gratitude in some fashion, you can, when you look, you can find gratitude. It doesn't matter what the situation is. When you look at situations, you can always, if you're always looking for the silver lining, you will find gratitude somewhere. And I was like, there you go. So have gratitude that you're not that person. You're not that person that yesterday, 5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, you thought was an asshole. Or you thought was a complete bloomin' idiot, or they're asleep, they have no clue, which, okay, they don't have a clue. However, it's not their time to get it yet. Still love them. Still show them respect. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everybody. It doesn't mean you're asleep. You just choose to see it from a bigger picture. You choose to see the gratitude and how everything plays out. And how, like, literally, everything happens for a reason. So, like I said, that as I was talking to my friend this morning, this huge download came in. It was like, because I saw the world, and I saw all these people having different life experiences. Nobody is supposed to have the same experience. So who says their experience is right or wrong? It is. And it's perfect for where they are. They're not ready to see it yet. That's our judgment on what we think is right or wrong. But again, wherever you are, you weren't always at this place. Because you know what? You came out of a womb. Every single one of you came out of a womb and you had no clue. You learned as you've grown. Now, what you learn and what you continue to learn is completely up to you. So you weren't always where you are because it wasn't your time. Things needed to fall into place. You needed to realize certain things. I'm still realizing things. I'm still evolving. I'll never end. It gets more exciting. I mean, this stuff, I'm telling you, when this stuff comes in, it is exciting. It is like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for those answers. Thank you for that insight. And it always makes sense. And you know what? It's coming from the right place when it comes from a place of love. And it comes from a place of unity. And there is no judgment. There's no ego. It comes from the divine. It has to. Because that's all the divine is love. So, and the other thing that it brought me to think about, which I was there and then it left and it's come back, is back when you think about, how do I put this? Back, Christians, and I'm not knocking Christians, this is a point, okay? One of my biggest pet peeves with Christians was they were hypocrites. Because they spew holier than thou, and I was one of them. Was one of them. Okay, so I speak from experience. You spew holier than thou. You say, what would Jesus do? You say, all of these things, and yet you stand in judgment every minute of every day. And you don't even know it. You don't even realize it. But you're always judging whoever you're talking to. Because they're not rich. They're not pretty. They're not wealthy. They're not well-to-do. They're not white. They're not black. They're not whatever. They're not a man. They're not a woman. They're not smart. Or they're too smart. Or put whatever adjective on it. Adjective? Yeah. Put it whatever, I think. Put whatever adjective on it you want to put on it. Whatever descriptive, whatever. When you start with a descriptive, you're judging. And that just came in. So, but think about the Christians that tell you you're wrong for doing whatever, or you're going to go to hell, or they leave church on Sunday and they go home and they start bitching and complaining and gossiping and all of those things. It's that same mindset. When we as awakened people, enlightened people, start looking at other people as assholes, dumbasses, stupid, ignorant, whatever, idiots, it's that same mentality. It's that same judgment. Now, that doesn't mean if somebody is rude to you, you can't choose to walk away from that situation and not have that in your existence. That's not what I'm talking about. You see, it's a fact. They're behaving this way. That's not what you choose to have in your existence. You walk the other way. But when you judge it, you don't know why that person just said what they said or did what they did or is the way they are. So don't judge it. Because just like in Christianity, you're supposed to bring souls to Christ, right? When you are judgmental and you're talking to somebody that you're trying to get saved and they're seeing you be judgmental, they're thinking, God, is that who I want to be? If I become saved, I get like that? I don't want to be like that. So you're repelling people away. It's the same thing with being enlightened or awake or a light worker or whatever you consider yourself to be. It's the same thing. When you're walking around, and again, I've been guilty up to this point of the same thing. But now it's another wake up call. It's another aha moment. So when you're talking about being of love and light and you're talking to somebody and you say, oh, well, they're such an asshole, or they're asleep, or, and it's a judgment thing. They're looking at you like you're supposed to be awake, you're supposed to be of love, and you're judging somebody. That's not love. Because the other thing that hit me this morning, when you, again, once you have tapped into the Christ consciousness within you, think about that saying, what would Jesus do? Becomes a literal thing for you. Because it is from the Christ consciousness that we find the love. We can, as a person, as a human, we tap into it. It is like it becomes part of, why do I want to say it becomes part of your higher self? Basically it does, because we're all one. So you tap into that higher existence. And when you go back and look at how Jesus was when he walked this earth, he was the embodiment of Christ consciousness. He never judged anybody. He didn't care what you looked like. He didn't care how much money you had. He didn't care anything. He loved you unconditionally. There was never a judgment. There was nothing but love. That's where we're supposed to come from. Even the people that slacked off, even the people that weren't awake. God, back then, I don't think anybody was awake. He tried to teach them. He tried to enlighten them. He tried then to show them the way, not from an ego place, not from a I'm better than you, not from a place of judgment. So come back and maybe maybe I've been on the short bus and you guys are way ahead of me. I don't know. Maybe it's taken me a while to get here. Maybe you guys already get this. I don't know. But this is what came to me today. So if you're already there, God bless you. Thank you for getting there, because it pulled me to this point. So thank you. If you're not there yet, hop on the bus. Let's go. Because like I said, this kind of thing, when these things come in for me, it's amazing. So I hope this helped you guys. If you're already there, again, thank you for being there and holding the collective at a higher place to bring more of this enlightenment in. That's what we're here for. As we evolve, as we ascend, we're bringing more of this knowledge, more of this wisdom, more of this enlightenment to the collective, to the world. It's beautiful. So the next time you see somebody, that anybody, don't judge them for anything. Drop the adjectives. I'm trying to think, you could say, not always. Drop the negative. I'm just going to say drop the negative adjectives. Because if you say they're a beautiful person, that's a good adjective. If you say, if you have anything negative to say or a negative thought, drop it and shift it, because that person is just as beautiful as you are. I don't care what they're doing. They're living their own existence. Because, again, we're all human beings. No, I'm sorry. Ignore what I just said. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And we all come from the divine. So your path is different than mine. It doesn't mean yours is right, yours is wrong. We can agree. I told my husband this morning, I'm going to tell you this really quick. I told him, I said, the problem, like I said before, you come out, you get here as a baby, you know nothing. Your learning is different. Your past is different from everybody else's. You draw your conclusions from your past to make your next decision, to make your next judgment, to make you judgment call, not judgment, but even judgment. So the problem is we get caught up in this. We get caught up in what I know is what I know, and that's all I'm willing to accept. Because I know this. The beauty comes in when you are open to the possibility that there are other, what word am I looking for? Possibility. There's other possibilities. The possibility that there are other possibilities. And accepting the fact that there could be something else. Like I told him, I said, you and I come from completely different backgrounds. We have completely different experiences. I come to this conclusion because of what I know. I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. You come to it because of what you know. Same thing. Now, when the block comes in is when I go, no, I know this, and this is right. Everything else is wrong. It's my way. It has to be my way. I'm right. Nobody else, every other opinion is wrong. The beauty comes in and says, okay, this is my opinion. It's been derived from my past, my existence. Somebody else comes in and says, okay, there's multiple ways to accomplish something. That's your way. This is my way. And you look at it with an open mind and you say, okay, is it valid? Does it add to what I'm saying? Does it make it easier? Does it make it more understandable? Does it make it better? Or is it just another way of accomplishing the same task? Or are they coming from a more limited knowledge base than you? And they're just interjecting their opinion. And it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just a different perspective. The beauty is being able to see the other person's point. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to accept it. Just agree that, just accept it. Not from a place of, okay, just accept everything that comes in. But like building anything, working on anything, just in life. It's like going to the grocery store. There's 2 paths out of my driveway. You can go right or you can go left. They'll both take you to the driveway. They'll both take you to the grocery store. If I go right and my husband goes left, we're both going to end up at the grocery store, right? Which way? Is it right or wrong? No, it just is. He might see something completely different on his route than I see on mine. Mine might be shorter, his might be shorter. If I come out and say, okay, I've always gone to the right. Going to the wrong is stupid. And I'm telling you this because I've lived it. I fussed at him for going to the left. Babe, I'm sorry. If I look at it as going to the left is stupid because it takes longer, who cares? Who cares? You're still going to get to the freaking grocery store. So look at it as maybe his way is better this time. Maybe it's just a different perspective. Do I always want to come out and go his way? No. Maybe I do. Maybe I find a better route. Maybe I find something more exciting. You don't know. When you completely close off to the fact that, you know what? No, I'm right and everything else is wrong. You limit yourself, and that's, we see this all the time. As people that are enlightened and waking up, we see it all the time with the people that just freaking refuse to acknowledge the fact that there could possibly be anything else. Even in religion, even in education, in everything, healing. They're so closed off. It's got to be a drug. I've got to get my answer from a doctor. My answer has to come out of a book. My answer has to come from the Bible or the preacher or whatever. You limit, when you're in that mindset, you limit learning. It's got to come from what I know. It's got to come from what I was taught. Where do you think that came from? Everybody's taught differently. Everybody learns differently. You and I might have sat beside each other in class, heard the same teacher, heard the same lesson, but you picked up something that I didn't, and vice versa. It's like sitting in church. You heard a message that I didn't hear, and I heard something you didn't hear. It's the same thing. So continue to be open to the possibilities. Continue to be open without judgment. Really, truly look at what somebody else is saying. They say, you have one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. Shut this and open these. And listen to what people are saying. And it doesn't mean you have to go with it. It's just like leaving here and going to the grocery store. I can say, you know what, this way is shorter, but going left is the only way he knew. So he might go, you know what? You're right. Let's go right. Or I might go, you know what? We ran into something amazing the last time we went to the left. It's longer, but who cares? Let's just go see. Let's go see this beautiful house. Let's go see this landscape. Let's go a different way. Again, they're both going to get you to the store. Now, if his way, or my way takes you around your elbow to get to your thumb, you might want to change your point of view. And that's just an example. There's millions. Don't get hung on that. So, again, we get laser focused on our belief system. We get laser focused on what we know. And get caught up in judgment and blame and victimhood. When we learn to step out of those things, the world becomes such a beautiful place. And you see these people that are on a different timeline than you are as a beautiful thing. And again, you look at it from a place of gratitude of, you know what? That's their journey. God bless them. I pray, whatever timeline you're on, you are having the best time of your life. Enjoy it to the fullest, wherever you are. It's not for me to judge where you are. So, I love you guys. Oh my God, I love sharing this stuff with you. Yeah, you might not like it, but I do. So I hope this helps put a different spin on it, and it goes back to, it's like my book, the book I just wrote, and I'm going to put a link below because I'm telling you, I got more feedback today. It's amazing. Being able to see things from a different perspective, opening your mind, changing the way you see things. If you're ready for that transformation, if you're ready because you just know there's got to be more, there's got to be a better way, get my book. It's mind-blowing. So anyway, if this resonates with you, if you got anything out of it, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, share it. People need to wake up to this and not from, you got to be spiritual. Literally, at this point, it's not about the spiritual awakening. It's just waking up to unity. It's just waking up to love and letting go of the old paradigm, letting go of all the shit we were taught, literally. Because it was to keep us suppressed. My everything is love. And when we can get to that and not look at it as, well, you've got to be enlightened, you've got to be spiritual, you've got to be whatever. No. It's just about love. It's just about acceptance without judgment. No division, no judgment, no blame, no victimhood, none of that. No guilt, no shame. If you want to get to a place where you can dump all that mess, reach out to me. Read my book, because we'll both help you get there. So much love, and we will talk soon.